Hello, Dr. Stephanie Gray, author of Your Longevity Blueprint, and I'm back for part 2 of my two-part video series on EMFs. Hopefully you watched video number 1 and hopefully you learned a little bit how scary and how dangerous EMFs can really be to our health. So I want to share with you today the good news, some things that I learned through reading the Non-Tinfoil Guide to EMFs by Nicholas and by taking his course as well. I learned so much and I will post the links to the book and the course below. But here are my take-homes. So one, EMFs or electromagnetic frequencies can actually open up the blood-brain barrier. So this allows toxins potentially to get into our brain. So this is not good. EMFs could also be impacting our gut bacteria. So the last thing you want to do is hold your cell phone up to your belly. I mean, there are studies showing that potentially could be causing leaky gut, which none of us want, right? EMFs also can block melatonin, which can impact our sleep. They can increase our cortisol, and higher cortisol means higher stress state, which can lead to weight gain. Now, in Nicholas's course, he did mention a study that showed women with higher exposure to EMFs had higher stress, right, higher cortisol, and lower progesterone actually led to heavier bleeding, which is just fascinating to me. I know stress can rob the body of hormones, essentially progesterone, but electromagnetic stress also can. That's fascinating to me. So you also don't want to live near power lines or cell phone towers. Really assess your location because you may actually want to move if you're in one of those hot spots. I know that other countries have significantly more strict safety limits in regards to EMFs than we do, and hopefully one day, ours will change. Just some fun facts here. Also consider turning Wi-Fi off on your phone unless you really need it. So if you want to listen to music or a podcast, I know I listen to those on the way to work. I don't want to be using 4G in my car. Especially because my car is essentially a metal cage, or even in an airplane per se. What you want to do is you want to download those podcasts or download that music on Wi-Fi at home, then turn off the Wi-Fi. You'll have the podcast while you're driving so you won't be connecting to the network. Also consider not charging your phone or really anything in close proximity to your body at night. Charge your phone, charge your computer at another time, not when you're using them or not when they're close to you. Don't use heating blankets or pads, especially if you're pregnant. Work off battery mode. Again, don't plug in your computer while using it. And know that babies are way more affected by EMFs because they have more water in their body, so they're going to absorb more of the EMFs. So really try to avoid baby monitors. Now keep your router at least 10 feet away from you where you spend most of your time. I have been measuring the EMFs through our house. I have this little meter, electrosmog meter. And our two biggest areas of concern in our home were our router, for Wi-Fi, of course, and then our cable box. So we purchased a router guard, and I'll post a link to that below, and it'll be in my blog also. And I will post a video actually showing the significant reduction in EMFs after I put the router in the router guard. So consider getting a router guard to help reduce that. Wire as many things as you can. If you don't even have to have wireless, don't have it. Wire everything. Consider using a Defender pad or Defender shield for your computer, and so I'll post a link to that. It's something you can put underneath the computer to really protect your lap. You could also consider a cell phone guard or cell phone case, and I'll post a video showing how this works as well because I've measured. I use the SYB phone pouch, and a fancier option would be like a Defender case, and I'll post links to those. Now, if you're someone who had to get a smart meter guard, know that you can decline those at this point. But if you got one, just like how I mentioned a router guard for the router in your home, you can get a smart meter guard also, which should reduce the EMFs, and I'll post that link below. If you can, avoid Bluetooth, and if you have to use headphones, use air tube headsets. These are going to be better because essentially anything with a wire could serve like an antenna. It can carry the EMFs right up to your brain, so using the air tube headsets would be better. Know that cords that have 2 prongs are not as grounded as 3. So anytime you plug something in, you want it to have 3 cords so that it's more grounded. It's not going to emit the dirty electricity. Consider getting a Wi-Fi timer so that you can turn off the Wi-Fi in your house at night entirely. And then know that distance is on your side. So keep all devices as far away from you as possible, especially at night. You could turn your phone on to airplane mode at night. That would be fine. Your alarm will still work just fine. Now think about, do you own an Alexa or any of those other devices? If you do, you want to make sure you turn them off at night so they're not constantly emitting EMFs. And some patients are so EMF sensitive, they actually have to turn off the circuit breaker to their bedroom at night, so all the electromagnetic chaos and all the EMFs are shut off. So I hope, though, I ran through that list really quick, but I wanted to get as much information in a short period of time as possible. I'm also starting to just be more conscious and aware of where I'm sitting, where I'm standing. You know, even when I'm getting ready in the morning, I don't want to stand right up against my hair straightener or curling iron, right? Those are going to be emitting some EMFs also. I'll put those on one side and I'll get ready on the other side. I'm in the bathroom. Now, I also purchased this electrosmog meter, which I've been taking with me everywhere, testing various environments, and I'll post a link to a meter like this as well. Because I determined that our cable box was emitting such high EMFs, we just unplug it at night, just entirely shut it off, and I think we've been sleeping much better. So how do you know if you're sensitive to EMFs? Well, consider how you feel on vacation, when you're walking on the beach with no Wi-Fi around, or better, out in nature camping. How do you feel? Probably more grounded, probably better, and that's a great indication that you would do better not exposed to so many EMFs. I believe time is truly going to tell how dangerous these EMFs are, but the time to start protecting you and your family is now. So if you want more information, purchase this book. I'll post the link below. It's a tremendous resource for you to learn how to clean up dirty electricity in your home. He really clarifies radio frequencies, magnetic fields, electric fields, all that jazz. Can learn more. He does a better job explaining that than me. And I also mentioned I took his course. So if you're a health practitioner and you want to learn more, I'll post the link to the course as well. Now, we can't wait for anyone to, again, change our safety regulations. Making these changes is truly up to you. If you are found to be gluten sensitive, you're going to avoid gluten, right? Well, what if you're EMF sensitive? You got to get the EMFs out of the environment. I really believe creating a low EMF environment is clinically shown to speed up healing and make many of our treatment protocols more effective, more efficient. So I crammed a lot into this part 2 video, but if you learned something, please share this, and please check out my blog. Link will be posted below with all kinds of links to all the products I mentioned and these tips. So thank you for tuning into this video. Let's reduce our EMF exposure and let's share this with others. Wellness is waiting.